Why do they always leave a sweet little innocent girl like me alone?
Well, well, young lady. Is there something I can help you with?
Dr. Eggman!
If you value your life, you will tell me where Sonic and Tails are. Let's take care of business first, shall we, Sonic? Hand over the Chaos Emerald, slowly, and then we'll talk about your girlfriend. That is, if you really care for her.
Handing over the fake emerald? I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone!
Put the emerald down right there and back off.
You've turned into a big-time villain, Doctor!
Whoa! You thought you could trick me with that fake emerald, didn't you?
So, how did you know it wasn't the real one?
Tails!
Because you just told me, Fox Boy. Now for a little space ride. Who clears the colony bad?
I'm counting on you, Tails. Amy, take care of yourself.
Farewell, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic!
Farewell, Sonic, my admirable adversary.
Sonic!
Now we have some unfinished business to take care of. If you give me the real emerald, I will release you both. You have my promise.
Sonic!
Uh-huh.
Sonic's asking for the first time to do something for him. I won't let him down. I won't give up. What have you done to Sonic? I'll never forgive you for this.
Tails. And now we play this fight from Tails' from Eggman's perspective. As you can see, Tails has an upgrade that we have yet to get for his. Uh oh. Yep, Tails also has that big laser. So. Whew, that was close. Okay. That was not trying to do the same thing with this fight as the last one. Woo boy! So I see same fight as last time with just Tails. So, ayo.
I guess he was just a regular hedgehog after all.
Legend has it when all 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected, the power creates a miracle. I have 6 of them. They're mine. All mine.
I don't think so.
Shadow.
So that was your plan from the beginning. Or was it a direct order from the president? Now I know who you are. You're that government spy, Rouge the Bat, aren't you?
So you did your homework, is that it? I would say that's an invasion of privacy.
I can say the same thing about you.
It looks like things aren't quite going your way, but since my job was done, I thought it was time to take what's mine and get out of this place.
You are one pathetic creature.
Look who's talking. What about you? Here are the results of the research project called the Ultimate Life Form. But if this picture is of the real ultimate life form named Shadow, then exactly who or what is standing in front of me?
This is Dr. I have found all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Shadow, someone's trying to get the Eclipse Cannon. There's not much time left before the cannon fires again. Can you get over there?
you want to live, leave the Chaos Emeralds where they are. The fake emerald is good enough for me.
Do you actually believe that you're the real Shadow?
No
Even
doubt.
your memories might not be real, you know?
Even if my memories are not real, it's still me, Shadow. And I will fulfill my promise to Maria. It's the only thing that matters to me.
Stage 14, Final Chase. Hurry to the Eclipse Cannon. Now you couldn't get essentially Shadow's version of Final Rush from Sonic's version of the from Sonic's playthrough. So there you go. Yeah. We're pretty much close to the end game now. Well, close to the dark side end game at any rate. Oh, he shot me right in the face. No, you don't. Ah, not that easy, how is it? And we're getting, so we're getting close to the end game for the dark side playthrough. Come on now. And the difference with Shadow's version of this level as opposed to Sonic's is that as far as Sonic's level is concerned, it's all rail grinding. There really isn't much in the way of gimmicks. It's just straight up a race to the finish. With Shadow's version, given the fact that the dark side's running theme, which has been a running theme I believe since, well, it's been a running theme since this game. Anytime you play a level with a Shadow as opposed to, oh come on! I like you guys on fire. That's a pretty fun touch. A running thing is that you play the dark side story or play the story involving Shadow in any way, shape, or form in the Sonic game that isn't, directly Shadow's story. It's a much harder playthrough than the hero side story, and this one is no exception. But they make that difficulty up with a gravity mechanic, like you can see here. Anytime you see these cylinders, they have their own gravity, their own kind of orbit kind of thing, and that's how you navigate this level. It's not too difficult. I think the only difficult part comes close to the end, because for the most part, each of these cylinders have a little stopper near the end that will prevent you from just flying off the side, which is very easy to do, and I jumped right into that missile there, so that's all me. And it's honestly not that big a difficulty fight as long as you just keep in mind that it has its own gravity. You can mostly go with the flow, and you won't have to worry about too much disruption of your group, So yeah, that's where we're at. So, if you note in the, was I not supposed to hold the elastic down there? Well, give it a shot this time. See what happens. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, I am just messing up on a level that's I played a couple of times. So that ending cutscene. I like that last cutscene because, like I said, it leaves further credence to this being my favorite iteration of Shadow the Hedgehog, because in this iteration, Rouge brings up a decent point, because if you watch that last cutscene, you will see that there is a image on the paper she's holding of the ultimate life form named Shadow. Also over here is the first Mystic Melody. We'll get more into that in a bonus video where I get the rest of the upgrades in the game, mostly the optional ones, which is pretty much all that's left to get for upgrades anyway. But yeah, you see a picture of the ultimate life form that is named Shadow, and it looks nothing like the Shadow we've been playing as. And Rouge brings up a valid point. It's like, I mean, you call yourself Shadow, and I'm looking at a project here called the Ultimate Life Form named Shadow, so what am I talking to at the moment? And to me, it's a valid point that, well, your memories might not be real, but Shadow resolves himself as, I don't really care, is all I got, and that's good enough for me. So it's like we get some resolution to, we get a bit of ambiguity. I think I might have messed this up. Yep, I did. I certainly did. Yeah, I was supposed to do that right there. But this works just fine, so we're going to work with it. we get a semi-resolution to a thing that we probably didn't even think about, and that is if we can rely on Shadow's memories to be real. Unfortunately, because of how this game ends and because of the popularity of the character, Shadow has amnesia going forward, which I've made mention of multiple times within this Let's Play. And if you're probably watching this, oh snap! Oh snap! Oh snap! Oh, I couldn't save it! Couldn't save it! If you if you're even a remotely a Sonic fan or just had any remote knowledge of Sonic the Hedgehog, then you know that then you know who Shadow is. You've seen him in marketing and media. There's no real secret what happens in this game. I'm not going to spoil it in case you haven't, but even though I kind of have already. Sorry. But with regards to his later incarnations, where he just has no memory of who he is, and finding his memory has been a big driving factor, I feel like it was ultimately unnecessary for this particular character, and it never really goes anywhere. Like the last time, like when they actually did do it, and once again in the comics, the Archie one thing, I don't know if they've done anything recently with it, but they've all but dropped it in terms of the current continuity and stuff, which, you know, thank goodness, because the Amnesiac story was getting a little bit old, not going to lie. Extra life here. And it didn't say they're going to resolve it with any real sense of urgency, and it's made it needlessly complicated, which is the last thing you want to do with a plot point. But I like this because it really tells us what's important to Shadow as a character. His memories, and he has memories enough that feel real, that's good enough for him. Unfortunately, and unfortunately, this leads me to my belief that this is the best interpretation of Shadow that we've ever gotten in terms of this franchise. Because otherwise, it's just been needless brooding and guns. And the occasional cuss word, which when you realize it's spoken by members of the 4-Kit cast, make it even more hilarious.
I guess I'm not at full power here.
Or I just sucked at platforming. Just saying, Shadow. Just saying.
You never cease to surprise me, Blue Hedgehog. I thought that capsule you were in exploded in space.
You know, what can I say? I die hard.
So, there's more to you than just looking like me. What are you, anyway?
What you see is what you get. Just a guy that loves adventure. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
I see. But you know, I can't let you live. Your adventuring days are coming to an end.
Alright, Shadow. Time for me to finish this.
Sonic. So as you can see, we're now doing the last mission, the last boss fight again. Same tactics that worked on Shadow in the hero side playthrough worked here, but this time get the added benefit of Sonic using Chaos Control. And yeah, the voice line for it doesn't sound that good, but that's just me personally. This fight is once again not that hard. Even with my seeming inability to get some of these tricks right, it's not that hard. Once again, if you use the light speed dash, you can do most of the damage to him. Okay, I did not do any damage that time around, don't know why. But yeah, so we're coming towards the end of the game. I guess I should go ahead and mention right now that actually no, I'm not going to mention that right now. We'll wait till later. Jesus, why is the hitbox not working right? There we go. But yeah, I want to touch on a little bit of trivia with regards to Sonic with the Shadow's last line, that there's more to you than looking just like me. Fun fact, Shadow isn't technically a Sonic recolor, he's a Super Sonic recolor. And they actually provide an in-game explanation, or at least an in-universe explanation for why he looks that way. It's said that Joe Robotnik based Shadow's creation, or at least based this Hedgehog creation off of a mural he saw depicting Sonic fighting Perfect Chaos. So that's why Shadow looks like Super Sonic, down to his quills being bent upright. Don't know where the red came from, but you know they did. Now go ahead and get this knocked out if I can just get the controls working right. That was my chance. See ya! Okay, gotta wait. Get right there, and get right up on it. See ya! The trick you want to try to do is you want to try to get into a pattern of getting the light speed dash down to a point where these center rings that Sonic or Shadow, depending on which playthrough you're on, they spawn right there in the middle of it, and you want to be approaching it right as they spawn in, so that way you can then hit the you get in land your attack. It can be finicky to do, and you can just rapid fire hit the homing attack, but you're likely to get yourself killed doing that than you are just doing this. And there we go. That's the end of Sonic as Shadow.
This completes my plan to take over the world. Now begins the glorious era of the Empire of Eggman.
Ooh, ominous. Eggman wins, and yet a warning sign appears. How do you like that? Well, that was the Dark Side playthrough of Sonic Adventure 2. As you can tell, we're not completely done. Well, my final thoughts on the Dark Side playthrough and the Light Side and the Hero Side playthrough of Sonic Adventure is that the stories do what they need to do in a competent way. There are still some plot holes. It could be better explained that how Sonic learned how to use Chaos Control within the context of the game. A lot of it is up to player assumption, and while the assumptions are easy to come to if you're just watching the story, it does also raise a question if you're just not paying attention too much, or if you are paying attention but you need it more spelled out for you, I guess. And then with regards to the gameplay, I still stand behind that. With regards to the speed gameplay, the Sonic franchise really should have stuck with the adventure style gameplay, because of the if you're going to go for it with just Sonic and Shadow being playable characters, or just Sonic being a playable character, because it's a much more rewarding experience with this momentum-based gameplay. And the rail grinding is also really good. I do appreciate how they simplified it a bit in later games with using the bumpers or triggers to swap rails. That I feel like that was a legitimate improvement, but I do miss being able to hold down the grind button and then balance on the rail. Well, hold down A button to increase your speed and then bounce on a rail to really build up momentum. There was nothing, in my opinion, some of the best fun you can have in this game is when you're just balancing on a rail. I know it sounds weird, but that's what I feel. The acting is early 2000s, early 3D, cinematic gameplay experiences. Not every single company's going to get it right, and for what this is, I feel like they got it as right as it needed to. It's, in my mind, is not as good as Adventure 1 because the script was a direct translation as opposed to an independent translation, and a lot of times the characters feel like they're reading directly from a script, and you can tell. But aside from that, it's a decent story on Hero or Dark. But we still have one more story to go through. Catch you later.
The ultimate life form.
Chaos control.
Space calling prayer.
Supersonic.
Tears.
Untamed power of chaos emerald.
Professor Gerald.
The truth about 50 years ago.
Sonic Adventure 2. Last episode. Wishes are eternal.